It's good to be back, my friends. I wanted to check in and say that I'm back on here, and I just wanted to share a little bit about my story. Namaste, my friends. It feels good to be back. I wanted to share a little bit about my story while starting this channel up again, because I feel like it led to this specific point, and it might give a little bit more context, you know. It basically starts when I was in childhood, basically, when I was not having the best upbringing. You know, my parents divorced pretty early, and my father was alcoholic and really unpredictable, which led to insecure attachment style developing inside of me, and lots of insecurities coming up with that, and never really feeling like I fit in to life, into society, into school. And that led me to search for deeper things, and I always had a knack for that as an INFP personality type. And these kind of mystery things, the deep mystery of the universe, always excited me, these kind of deep questions. And so after about the end of high school, I was a very shy kid, lost, didn't have no purpose, and got distracted by video games, by junk food, by just a toxic lifestyle that gets promoted nowadays, not living healthy, not living in alignment. And that started my self-development journey. I found things online that inspired me to read interesting books in self-improvement, to start eating healthier, to start working out. And that already started about 2016, when I started distancing from my high school friend group. They were continuing to smoke lots of weed and play video games, and I noticed I wanted to make a change because I was very depressed and anxious, and knew that there's more to life, you know, healthier ways of living. And when high school was finished, pretty soon I started a one-year travel program, which went to the US, to Mexico, all over Europe. I learned some good amount of English there, and actually started reading books and listening to a very deep channel, actualize.org, which inspired me to start meditating and to think about deeper metaphysical things. And I thought it was just going to be a side interest of mine, this deep philosophical stuff, but until now I could not stop thinking about these things, and it just keeps going deeper. And I'm very, very grateful, because honestly, for me, these are the most important questions, which I really didn't know that I had these questions, or that they could be answered, and that they could really transform the way you see life and therefore act in life. And so that has been a huge part of my life ever since 2018 or something. I started getting deeper into meditation. I started trying Kriya Yoga, and eventually even some plant medicine stuff, like for example, starting with LSD. And that was really, really mind-opening, you know. It really opened my heart, also showed me lots of wounds and traumas that I have, but it really, really showed me a new dimension of being in the world, just appreciating life for what it is, not needing to do so much, and discovering the dimension of being. And that was, of course, very early in life, but it was very inspiring and made me want to spend more time just sitting in meditation, cleaning up my lifestyle, and these kinds of things. What I wasn't prepared for, though, is that at some point I started to have a Kundalini awakening, which is a primordial energy at the base of the spine in all of us, and it's awake to a certain degree in everyone, I think, but what they say is that it can sort of rise in a sort of permanent way, and then the whole journey towards awakening to our true nature of infinite consciousness, which is one with everything and completely infinite and doesn't lack anything, is completely whole, that gets accelerated a lot. You start having a hunger for spiritual books, for meditation, for living as healthy as possible. That all sounds well and good, but that also is difficult in the beginning, because I wasn't really prepared for that. Hadn't heard of Kundalini energy, and that really destabilized me for a while, even though it was also very beautiful. You know, I really blossomed. I learned lots of wounds that I still have, and old traumas and things that I hadn't forgiven yet came up. But yeah, besides all the sensitivities that came up, for example, being very sensitive to loud noises and yeah, just doing useless things. I just couldn't really do any work during that time. I was also experiencing lots of bliss and happiness and peace that is indescribable with words. And I'm super grateful for that. And by now, let's say 2022, it's like 4 years later, I've really befriended this energy. I'm nowhere near the end, but I'm trying my best to align with it towards self-expression, creativity, love, authenticity, you know, and consciousness, these kinds of things. It has really transformed my life, and currently I'm just still in the process of aligning with that now, because I never imagined that that is what my life's going to be moving towards. But it's not like I had another plan and I just followed my intuition, you know, kept reading books, kept trying new techniques, new modalities to heal, to raise consciousness, and yeah, that's what led me to where I am at now. And after the travel program, actually, which ended like 2018, I started working at my family's cafe. But that was always difficult because it's not what I'm passionate about, and it was just like a holdover job, and I knew that I'm always going to focus on my passions no matter what holdover situation I'm going to be finding myself in, and so that's always going to be a little bit difficult for me. And at some point, I think 2023, that actually ended that whole chapter, and I had to stop working there, and then I was actually not working at all for like 1.5 years, because that was still that Kundalini time when I was trying to figure out what the hell is happening to me. And that was also, though, while I was in my first relationship, I learned a lot of stuff there. Learned that I had a fearful avoidant attachment style, lots of wounds there. At that time I was more avoidant leaning, but by now that first breakup started happening end of 2025. After that, I was starting to lean more anxious, which is supposed to be actually a sign of healing a little bit, starting to open up again and feeling your needs. That is not the end of secure, but we are getting there step by step. And after that breakup happened, I started picking up photography, and that was really nice. It gave me something to work towards, some direction in life, something to ground me again after all that going inwards, appreciating life in its formed form, in its formed realm, and not just abiding in the formless inner dimension. Being not too attached to that, it gave me a balance, you know, going outside, photographing beautiful things, making little projects and little missions that I followed. And I have so many beautiful photos now. That is just wonderful. But recently I felt inspired to end that chapter, honestly, because I kind of felt I did the best I can there. I mean, I really developed a great skill, but I knew that it's not the deepest thing that I can do. And David Deida, who wrote the book The Way of the Superior Man, which is like about conscious masculinity and integrating masculine and feminine together and just like new possibilities in that whole space, says that your life purpose has certain layers and you get closer to the core. And I think for me it was a certain holdover layer, that photography thing, but I always knew, you know, I was posting some metaphysical and spiritual things in the captions sometimes, because that is actually the largest part of me. But I knew that it wasn't really fitting, I think, with the you know, general audience there. And so I never felt like I could fully express myself. Photos were great, but I knew that it's not the deepest thing that I can do. And so I was feeling kind of burned out from posting, because there's also a viral video that went viral, a reel on my Instagram account. And I was like constantly getting likes. There's like almost 300,000 likes by now, over 2 million views. And it kind of exhausted that external validation seeking karma, I think. And it just, you know, it keeps getting likes every few seconds and milliseconds, 24/7. And just getting random followers which don't know me, don't know my message and what I really stand for. And so yeah, at some point I was like, that feels kind of, yeah, exhausted. And then I went to this Trip Expo, which was like a little fair for, you know, the future of psychedelics and psychotherapy and all kinds of things like that. Tried to open myself up to the community, met some fun people there, connected with them, and went to a festival. Like it was like a nature community type thing that they created there, which was super beautiful. But I realized that during that time I was trying to get to know someone, and it was, wow, I learned that I have a lot of trauma work or cleaning up work to do, as Ken Wilber says, the visionary psychologist, developmental psychologist and mystic who created integral psychology and integral spirituality. You know, he says that we cannot only be focusing on waking up, we have to also focus on cleaning up. And that's what I've neglected unknowingly, because I think it just took that time and that journey to uncover these layers. And so I was really very impatient, and also legitimate fears, I think, but I really learned that, wow, I didn't know that I have this huge anxious side inside of me, and that really showed me a lot. I had a lot of insights from going to that festival, positive ones, also shocking ones, and that kind of inspired me to focus on cleaning up again, but also not being afraid to be myself, and not shrink for anyone, and just show up, you know, another step from that framework, to show up in life for my purpose, for my biggest values. And yeah, then I had like a month of not posting anything on my photography channel, and now I just feel inspired to share again, because after my first breakup I was like, you know, I need to figure that domain of life out, and I tried so hard, and it was just a weird experience after weird experience, always running into avoidantly attached people and chasing them way too much. And yeah, now I'm still learning a lot, but I feel like still sharing the process, and just making a new step, opening up a new chapter, and it really feels like more and more aligned than just doing photos. And yeah, really excited. I love this new setup, and yeah, I think that's about all. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you soon with more videos, and yeah, this is the new chapter.